I don't know if you've ever had a DIY nightmare, but I sure did. I just had an electrical ghost in the machine and I didn't know what to do. It all started with just replacing a light fixture, something I've done 100 times if I've done it once. Now, this is the fixture I was replacing, and it shouldn't be hard. There's nothing to it. There's 3 wires, a white, a black, and a ground, so it's not rocket science. The fixture is operated by this switch on the upstairs and the switch at the downstairs portion of the house. Either one should result in beautiful light coming out of the fixture. Unfortunately, after installing it, there was no light. And when I went to switch it on and realized there was no light, I immediately started to think, that's odd because fixtures aren't often bad. There's not much to them. They're not that technologically advanced. Indoor lighting has been around since, the late 1800s, so it really is pretty simple. I mean, you shouldn't have to be a qualified electrician to just replace a light fixture. It's not I might want to rethink that one. That hard. Needless to say, I'm feeling like kind of a moron at this point. So after checking the fixture to make sure it wasn't bad, I went and I actually checked the breakers. That's the next logical step, and didn't find anything wrong with any of the breakers. So my next logical choice was to check every GFI outlet in the house, which there was quite a few of them. We got the GFI outlets in the bathroom, both bathrooms actually, all 3 bathrooms. And then you got some outside and some in the garage. So I checked every single one and I couldn't find a thing that was tripped. Unfortunately, on my way out of that bathroom, I found something else. All 3 of the light switches in the bedroom no longer work to operate anything in that bedroom. Not only do these switches not work to operate the things they normally operate, like the fan, the light, and one of the outlets, none of the outlets in the room work either. The only one that works in the room is close to the bathroom, and it's on the GFI. So at this point, this light, which is not working at this point, is now causing me some serious issues. I mean, with no power in the bedroom, I can't put on my CPAP mask. I can't sleep at night. And how in the world is my wife going to live out her Darth Vader fantasies without me wearing the CPAP mask? So I come out here in the garage and I grab me one of these and I'm ready to test the breakers. So I proceed to once again check each and every breaker by flipping it off and on again just to make sure that I hadn't missed anything. And I check with a tick tracer to make sure that they're all getting power, and everyone is registering power except for this one, which is the bathroom GFI, which is odd to me because I just checked the outlets in the bathroom GFI and they're fine. So I purposely tripped that breaker and went back upstairs and checked those outlets again, and they didn't work. So I know when I tripped the breaker and the outlets didn't work, and then when I flipped it back and they did, there's nothing wrong with that breaker, even though it's not registering anything with the tick tracer. Just an anomaly that it didn't register with the tick tracer. So to make a long story short, I know at this point that it is definitely not a breaker, and it is definitely not anything in this panel. Which leads me to believe that the power coming to the room that operates those switches that I just discovered were off is somehow not getting there. So I need to find which outlet that power comes from. It's got to be one of those outlets in the bedroom that aren't working. Because in my mind now, I have come to the conclusion that the power coming in from upstairs into whatever outlet that supplies the rest of that room is obviously the outlet is bad. So I'm going to find it. So none of those outlets in that bedroom were the source of power coming up from downstairs. None of them, which I thought to be very odd. And there was only one outlet in that room that was working, and I was pretty sure it was tied to the bathroom GFCI switch because it's really close to there. So there we are. We're still at a loss as to where the power comes into this room. And after I checked the last of 4 outlets, realizing that none of them were the source of power coming into the room, which also would be the source of the power to that switch, then I had a real problem, because I can't even find where the power's coming in. And then I remembered, after all that time, there was one more outlet, and it was behind a dresser, all the way down here behind a dresser. And guess what? It's a GFCI outlet. Why? You guessed it. That was the problem. Obviously, it was the problem. And it all made sense when I found it, why that would happen. I still don't really know what made it trip, because there was no juice at this doggone light. You know, the light that I had changed right up here, there was no juice to that. So I'm still not certain what caused that issue. But what I am certain of is when I tripped that GFCI back on, everything worked. Nightmare resolved. But man, was I stumped. And I'm telling you, if something like this happens to you, all what I just went through could be the problem, but more than likely, it's going to be a breaker or a GFI outlet that is tripped. 99% of the time, that's what's going to be the problem. Once I found it, it all made sense. Now, you're asking yourself, why do you have a GFI outlet in your bedroom? And there's a good reason for that. Because about 15 years ago, I had a fish tank right there where that dresser is. And I installed it myself and totally forgot. I installed that GFCI outlet there to prevent a possible fire from the fish tank and all the equipment because of the wet nature of a fish tank. And I totally forgot it was there. And so I caused my own issue. But anyway, that's what happened, and that's how I fixed it. If this video helped you in any way, please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. I do a lot of videos on DIY, outdoor cooking, and dog training. And there are, of course, the shoppable video things that are on here, and I won't notify you about those. If you want to watch them, you can. If you don't. But please like and subscribe if you like this type of video.